Greg Koopman here. In this video, I want to show you how you can use Power BI. This is an easy tool for profiling and using for consolidation and checking things. You're testing your data without really publishing your reports to anybody. It's just as a tool. It's very useful for these purposes. So anyways, let's go ahead and dig into it. Basically, let's pretend we have a brand new report, which we do. And when you get your report, when you put in some data, which I already have loaded here, probably way more than I need for this particular example. In fact, we might just have something like fact internet sales, and that might be more realistic. But let's say, for example, you have an accountant, a bookkeeper, somebody who wants to review some data. And you say, hey, I got this Power BI tool, and maybe this may, it's pretty cool. Maybe you should try this, and maybe this tool you want to use more often, just for checking some data and quality. And also, I like using it too because I'm doing a lot of migrations, and when I migrate from one side to the other, I need to check and consolidate my numbers and make sure that everything got over properly and nothing was missed. So I can see where this tool can help me in that manner too also. So let's go back to, so basically I created a new report, threw some tables, did some get data and brought some tables in. And what happens is what you'll see when you open up your tables on the right here. Let's just open up Fact Internet Sales. And so in Fact Internet Sales, I see, okay, here's a date column and a order date column and a bunch of, okay, so what we have here are some dates, probably a bunch of columns we don't need that could be hidden, but I'm not going to do that in this video. That's not the point of this. And some other things. So basically, you see all these sum signs, right? And basically, if I just take, you see even date key, these are not even worth looking at, but that's okay. This isn't, okay, so let's just take a sales amount, okay? And it will give me the sales amount by whatever visual it wants to show me, right? I'll make that a table. So now we got a total here, right? And let's say, for example, I have a customer and I want to do by something by country. So let's pull in, let's say region. Click on region. So now I got a region and sales amount by region, right? And those are the sums. It aggregates up, all right? So let's now just take the sales amount, go back to sales amount, and bring it back in again. And a couple more times, okay? Because I want to analyze or consolidate sales amount, right? So, and I want to do it by country. And maybe I want to do it by year also. Now, what happens sometimes in this the way when it brings it in, since year in this case is, let's say fiscal year. Fiscal year is a integer, right? So anything that's an integer, whole number, decimal, it's going to go ahead and add an aggregate to it. So I come over here, and in this case, I don't want the aggregate because if I do that, it won't make sense at all. So basically what you do is you go up to column tools and you turn that off and you just say don't summarize. Okay. Now you see it's no longer, doesn't have the summation next to it. So now I'm going to pull that in. So what I'm doing here is I'm pulling in the fiscal year. So I'm showing fiscal year, then the country region, right? Okay. So I'm also going to make this a little bit bigger, the fonts here. Okay. So now we see 2010, 2011, 12, 13 for Australia, then Canada. Well, let's sort this by fiscal year. So I come up here and just sort it. Okay, so now it's by fiscal year. So I see everything there and the totals. Okay. But I also want to see some other things here. I want to see, I know sales amount is a line item a line item basically inside of the fact internet sales table. So now I want to see the total number of rows. So what I can do here is I can come here, go back over here, and in sales amount I can just drop it down and say show me the count. So now it's showing me the count of the rows, really, because it's sales amount, but it shows me that's really the count of the rows for each one of these lines, these summaries. Okay, and so what it did by dragging in these different sales amounts, I can throw in some other aggregates just by clicking on that downward arrow and say, well, let me see the median amount. Okay, and then come down here and to the next one and say I want to see the minimum purchase, and then the last one I want to see the maximum purchase, maximum amount. So anyways, kind of cool. I mean, it gives you some information there without having to even go and query data. I mean, you don't have to run a SQL command or nothing, and it's right there. So I kind of like this concept. It's really fast and easy. And if I wanted to, I can go ahead and change the numbers of something else to a different numeric. And I can go ahead and line up my totals. If I want to throw in a slicer, I could throw in a slicer. Maybe let's say I throw in a slicer by country. By country is fine, I guess. All right, and I'll take this one and make this a little bit narrower. Okay. So now I can go ahead and just say, click Canada, look at this Canada, make it a little easier to see, etc., etc. So you get the idea. So all I'm trying to do is point out that this could be used for profiling data and consolidation of numbers, and, really quickly without doing hardly anything at all except for bring the data in, and it automatically does the rest for you. Now, obviously, this isn't set up for a real reporting development area, but that's not what I'm pointing out what it's being used for in this scenario. So hope this helps. Thanks a lot.